All right, so good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Sorry.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good
Fine,
evening.
fine, Vincent.
Okay, so I welcome you all to this evening session, and I'm hoping that it will be a wonderful one. Sure. So I have quite a number of you here. I think 10 individuals are here. We can still do something. Though this is
Yes,
not a
yes.
large, yes, this is not a large number we are expecting, but then I think that the most important thing is those who are ready to learn something are here. So we can still go ahead and do something. Okay. So before we continue to do anything regarding today's session, quickly let's cast our minds back to touch on few things that we've discussed in our previous meetings. And at least we can quicken up our minds and then get to build on whatever we know already today. So yes, if you want to talk, you will mute your microphone and you enlighten us what you remember from our previous session, or in your own findings, whatever you've been able to come up with or learned, you can share with us whilst we are preparing to get into today's topic. Yeah, so the floor is open. If you don't talk, me myself, I'll call you. If you don't talk, me, I'll call you. Hey, hmm, Frank, Frank, I am Bila. You don't want to respond. Respond. I'm listening to you. Share with us what you remember so far. Yes. Or you said I should come back another time. All right, that's fine. Yes, anybody to share something with us?
Frank says waiting for you. Frank, come and reply.
All right, so I think that let me just do a quick recap and then we can continue from there. So all along we've been trying to understand the ins and outs of the computer system. And we are doing that just to understand how the computer system actually works. And so when we set off to say we want to write instructions for the computers, I mean for computer to understand or act according to the instructions we give them, we would better know how to approach it because we've understood that okay, there are some devices in there, there are some workings in there. Please mute yourself, okay? Yes. So we've actually understood that okay, when you pick a computer system, there are so many components working together to There are so many components working together to form the entire computer system. And all these components we are talking about, in one way or the other, are following instructions. And these instructions are actually written by programmers, engineers. And interestingly, that is the path we are trying to toe. And so therefore, it is okay that we understand the basic principles or the basic features that are coming together to form the entire computer system so that we can better know how to write instructions for them. So all along, those are the few things we've been talking about. And in our very last session too, I remember that we did talk about thinking programmatically, because as individuals who are interested to become programmers, it is very, very important that we learn how to think programmatically. We learn how to think programmatically because it is very crucial for your journey. Yes. And what are the few things we established under that? We did highlight the concept of what? Algorithms, flowchart, pseudocodes, and whatnot. We talked indeed about a lot. We did discuss a lot. And I believe that as it stands now, you have been able to do your own research, your findings, and has built on the knowledge we shared in the last session. Yeah, if you have not done that, I think you are not doing yourself good, because day in, day out, when we meet, we are going to build on whatever we discuss. So I would urge you that whatever we share here, whatever we discuss here, make time, go back, and then what? At least try to cushion yourself and then be on the same page with all of us. If you find yourself fumbling about a particular topic, not really getting the concept, the group is open, myself, my DM is open. You reach out, we discuss, and we seek for understanding. Yes, that is the most important thing. Yeah, so this evening we are going to continue. And I believe all of you are ready. If you are ready, let me just see a thumbs up. Let me just see a thumbs up. Yes. Good, 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 good. All right, good, good. So yes, we are going to continue to really transition into the actual what? Deal. We are going to transition into the actual deal today. So before we start to do something, there are a few things we need to understand. There are a few things we need to what? Understand. So I'm going to pull up a space that can let me type. Let me see if this whiteboard can allow me to do something. Okay, this is probably not going to support this thing again. Let me leverage my own this thing. I think that would be much help. Whoa. Let me just get rid of one thing right now. I think that would help. Yes. So I'm sharing a screen with you. If you're able to see the screen, just let me know that you are able to see it.
I think we should raise our hands by letting you know that we can see it, right?
Sure, sure, sure. That will help a lot. Anthony, why why are you presenting your screen? Anthony, please
Please,
don't
sir,
present.
we cannot see your screen that you are sharing.
You cannot see.
Please, is that?
You are actually sharing
No,
your
not at
screen with us.
all.
You're actually good. Thank you for um doing quick justice to that. Thank you. Thank you. Your screen is still visible, so others can resume. Okay. So this is actually my screen, right? Pin it. I want to pin everyone. I want to go into a full screen mode. So we can but then I'm actually pinning myself right now.
See, if I'm the only person facing this problem here, then do other people can you see the stream that Sir Ernest is sharing?
Yes, I can see the
No,
screen.
some of us are not seeing it anymore.
For me, I can see it.
I
Can you
can't
see?
also see the screen.
Can you see
I
now?
can see the screen.
No, please.
Nope.
Yeah, we can see now.
Oh, okay.
Johnny, can you
It's
see
like
now?
Microsoft Word.
Yes, exactly that.
Okay.
Johnny, can you see now?
Please, I can see the screen.
Still, I can't see the screen. I'm only seeing your profile picture and your name.
Then probably it's a network. Maybe.
No, it's not my
No,
network.
you have to
Bro, force and see it, and force and see it. I beg.
How? How?
Let me see if I can help. In that regard, let me see something. Let me just stop sharing my screen and then reshare it.
Okay.
Okay, now it's clear.
All right, thank you for that one.
Day three.
Yes. So what we are going to do is we are going to get a bit technical, but please open your minds, and if you don't understand anything, quickly draw my attention or pile up your questions. Whilst when we get to the discussion stage or the question and answer stage, you come up with your how do you call it? Your input and all that. So that is that. So yes, we are saying that we want to do what we call programming. Now, can I call you back? Me Zoom meeting. Yeah, so I hope you can hear me, please.
yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so we said we are actually introducing ourselves to computer programming, and we've established some basics already. Yeah, some basics already. So programming is basically writing instructions for the computer to be able to process or execute as to how we want it to behave or perform the execution. Yes. But then we don't just turn up and write instructions for what the computer. There are few things we need to what understand. Not few, a lot, but I think we have to start gradually to get to a certain stage in the programming what space. Now, programming or writing instructions for the computer is just like you speaking to your friend. It's just like you speaking to your friend. Now, when you speak to your friend or you talk to your friend, you must be speaking a common language for the other party to understand. So, in the communication channel, we have what we call the sender, and then we have the receiver. So, the sender actually sends a message, This message is actually encoded. So, when the receiver is able to get the message, this message will now be what? Decoded. If it is decoded, that is only when the receiver can understand what the sender actually sent. So there is that sort of what communication going on and on like that. And it is very important that the two parties who are actually communicating must be speaking what? The same language, or there should be an intermediary if we understand different languages, but then we want to still communicate. There must be an intermediary that will be able to what? Decode or translate whatever message that is coming for the other party to understand. In the absence of those, there is no communication. So basically, when we want to write instructions for the computer, we need to what? Speak the computer's language. We need to speak the computer's language. Yes. So, in order to speak the computer's language, what do we need? We need a programming what? Language. We need a programming language. So therefore, for academic purposes, for you to be abreast with what you are going to be tackling hopefully next semester, we are going to start to look at C++. So, intro to programming using C++. How many of you have heard of the word or the term C++ before?
Yeah, Sir Ernest.
Yes.
Okay, so since we got this and hint that we are going to be doing programming next semester, we we all started doing our research on C++.
Okay.
Well, the thing is that we decided to do some research, and I personally got an app called SoloLearn.
Okay.
And working along with SoloLearn, it's been showing me a little practical on writing codes. Well, my question comes about what are the very first basics you write in writing any code in C++? Because I noticed that if you miss any step, it will be like it's wrong, it's wrong. So I wanted to get to write and start writing a very new code.
Okay. So thank you for that one. I believe that as and when we progress, your question will be answered. So just be on standby and pay attention. Your question will definitely be answered. Are you okay?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you. So, introduction to programming using C++. So C++ is a programming language. Is an example of what? A programming language. Trust you me, it is not the only language we can use to what? Write instructions for the computer to comprehend or understand or execute. There are so many other ones. I think in our earlier discussions, we've actually touched on a few of them. I said we have languages like what? Java. We have Python. Yes. Can I get few input from my audience?
We have Ruby.
We have Ruby. Good. What again? There is C
We have
sharp.
JavaScript.
We have JavaScript. Good. We have JavaScript. We have Go. Uh-huh. So all these ones are what? There. All these ones are there. What happens is, more often than not, depending on what you are trying to achieve would sort of determine what programming language you must use.
HTML, PHP, C.
Okay, so I would accept that PHP is what? A programming language. as well as a scripting language. It's programming stroke scripting language. But then for HTML, there is actually a war around this thing. Whenever you mention HTML to be a programming language, there is so many people going to attack you. Yes, so you have to really know what you're talking about before you go and say that HTML is a programming language. Yes, it is a programming language, but its functionality is to allow you to mark up web pages, and so therefore it is regarded as more of a markup language than a programming language. So that is that for HTML. So note that. All right, so all these ones are what examples of programming languages. There are a couple of other ones, but these are a few ones we can touch on for now. And amongst all these ones, we are saying that we want to start with what? C++. We want to what? Start with C++. So let's just go and then what? Look at information that are surrounding what C++ and how we can leverage it to write our computer instructions. Are we okay?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, so thank you for the feedback. Yeah, so C++ is what? A programming language. Not just a programming language, but what? Also an object-oriented programming language. We will come to that, but then just pen it down that it is a programming language. It also supports a programming paradigm that is what? Object-oriented. Just pen that down. When we get there, we really what? Explain it for you to understand. Okay, so that is that. Now, what are some of the things or the applications we can create using what? The C++ programming language. So let's say possible applications that can be built using C++. So you can talk about what? Computer games. You can talk about libraries. You can build libraries. You can even build websites. Yes, website with other toolings or other technology combined with C++. You can build websites or let's say web application. You can also build what we call embedded systems. Am I spelling it right? Embedded systems. So many things you can do what with C++. So if you learn C++, you are not wasting your time. It is actually going to pay off. These are only few amongst a lot of the things that C++ can do. Yes.
Can you say database?
Come again?
I said, can you say database?
Can it create a database? Yes, it can.
Yeah.
Yes. You can use it to develop DBMSs. So, you know what DBMS is? Don't say you don't know.
We know.
Yes, thank you for staying true to yourself.
We don't know.
Hey, Chairman.
We know why. We know.
So DBMS is
Sir, we
basically
know database management systems.
Next step.
good.
Please, we know.
We don't know.
Please, we know. We know.
Yeah, so it's okay. Thank you. Let's continue. So these are few programs or systems that can be built using the C++ programming language. Yes. So we are gradually trying to understand C++ as a programming language. We've mentioned that it's just an example of what? The many programming languages that we have out there. Now we are trying to look at some information that surround the C++ programming language itself. We've understood that it is an object-oriented programming language that, yes, it also allows you to create programs like computer games, libraries, websites, embedded system, can use to build database management systems and all that. So many things. These are the few ones we actually highlighting at the moment. Now, it is also important that you know who developed it. So C++ was developed by one engineer, a legend of that course. A legend, of course, is called Bijani Strapstrop. Bijani Straps. The word is, I don't know if he's Russian or what have you. I don't know. You can look it up yourself. So that is that. That is his name. Strastrop. Is it Strastrop? However you want to pronounce it. That is his name. He he is actually the brain behind the C++ programming language. Now, C++ is an extension. Is an extension what? Is an extension of C. So there was actually a language called C, a programming language called C. And then he built on top of C to become C++. That is why we are saying that C++ is an extension of what? C. So note that. Note that. Note that. Yes. C++ is known for one thing. What is it? It allows programmers. It allows programmers to have control over system resources and memory. It is very important for you to note that it allows programmers to have control over system resources and memory. What it means is that when you are using C++ to build your systems, you have control to the extent that you can say, okay, for this particular portion of my system, I want to allocate this memory size for that. You have control. You really have what? Control. And so therefore, there is one thing about the programming language, which is C++, that it is very fast. It is very fast because it allows you to have control over certain things to better manage your memory and resources, and then do what we call garbage collection and all that. So these are a bit advanced. They are a bit advanced concepts, but don't worry so much about it. When I mention something and it seems so abstract, you can put it down on paper and you read around it. Hopefully I'll touch on it again. If I'm not able to touch on it too, you can read on it yourself and at least you'll be enlightened. That is one best way to learn. So I will encourage you in that regard. So yes, that is what a bit about what C++. So we are saying that why should you even use it? Why use what? C++. Why use C++? Why use it? Now, you have to know that it is one of the world's most leading what? Programming language. It is very popular. Most of the programming languages we mentioned earlier, like Java and all those, they are having something to do with C and C++. It means that in one way or the other, Java was built using C++ or C. So you can look it up. I'm not really sure about that, but I know it's either C or C++. Java was built on top of that. So you can go and then search. So you could see that it is very popular amongst the programming how do you call it, ecosystem. So that is actually that. Okay. So we are also saying that when you pick GUIs, graphical user interfaces, and embedded systems, C++ is what? Working over there. How many of you love games? Games. The FIFA, the PS, and all those nice games like that. How many of you love it?
We did.
You did, eh?
Yeah, I really love games.
Yes, good. So actually, most of the games you
Yeah, so
see
we
out.
did here.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah,
see.
yeah. We are many. We are many.
I get it. So most of the games you see out there were built using C++. Yeah, so if you are someone who would love to go into game development, learning C++ will give you a great start off. So yes, it is one of the reasons why you should learn C++. It is one of the reasons why you should learn C++. What again could be a reason for you learning C++? When you learn it, it is having similarities with languages like what? C#, Java, C, and few other ones. And what it means is that you can easily learn what? These ones that I've highlighted. When you learn C++, you can easily learn these ones, C#, Java, and C, because it is kind of what? Close to them. Are we okay?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So let's
Yes, sir.
continue. Let's continue. Now, we want to get to start using C++. What are the things we need? So start using C++. We need what we call a text editor. We need a text editor. Example, you can use what we call Notepad. You can use what we call Visual Studio Code.
Notepad plus plus.
You can use Notepad plus plus. Good.
You can use and writer.
What? Come again?
And writer for the phone.
Oh, okay. I don't really know about that. Yeah, so these are few text editors that are available. Now you might ask yourself, what is a text editor? Please take it once and for all. When you go to hear it in a different space, at least it will be an additional knowledge or something that you already know. So a text editor is basically an environment that helps you to write your step-by-step instructions for the computer. So you see that right now I'm using what? Microsoft Word. It is an example of what? A text editor. Because it is allowing me to what? Type what we call text. Mind you, the instructions that we write for the computer are actually text, but they hold special characters, special text and all that. Basically, we need what? A text editor. But then,
Please, can you come again with the definition of the text edit?
okay, so text editor is basically an environment that allows you to write your step-by-step instructions. Are we okay?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
sir.
Yes. So when you want to weed, when you want to farm, when you want to plant plant cassava, maize and all that, what do you need? You need a land in order to be able to plant those. And so therefore we are saying that we want to start writing C++ programs. What do we need to be able to write it? We need a text editor. And a text editor, basically I'm saying that it is just an environment that allows you to be able to type out your code, your instructions, step by step in that order. Are we good?
Yes, sir, Ernest.
Yes. All right.
I learned that there's a library within I learned there's a library within C++ that you have to actually give reference or refer to that library in order for codes to be executed. Can you please elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, so we are getting there soon. We are getting there soon. All right. So that is that. We need a text editor. Now, I'm going to touch on a particular text editor that we will be using. And when we get there, I'll say something a bit about that. So please pay attention and take notes. We also need what we call a compiler. A compiler. To remind you quickly, I said that we want to start using C++. What do we need in order to start? We need a text editor. I've given few examples. We also need what?
The operator.
A
A
compiler.
compiler. Good. We need a compiler. Please, someone is having the background to be noisy like that. Mute yourself. Yes, thank you. So, if you can cast your minds back, when I was trying to talk about the algorithm, pseudocode, and all that, I made mention of what a compiler that it is just one tool or a mechanism that is available to be able to convert the human readable instructions, that is a high level language written instructions, into a machine code. For the computer to be able to understand. So we have actually come again to meet it, that when we want to write C++ programs, we are going to use high-level instructions to be able to write our programs, but then we need a compiler that is going to take our written instructions, convert it into zeros and ones for the computer to understand. So we need that as well. Examples include we have the GCC. I think we also have the GNU something. But for now, I remember only the GCC. We are going to go into that very soon. Okay. All right. So these are the few things we need to in order to get started. But then, let me ask you a simple question. Like I was using the farm scenario. Supposing that you have a big farm that you want to really cultivate, have your cassava, your yams and all that cultivated. If you are given an industry machine to be able to help you make your life easier compared to you using your normal cutlasses and hoes, which one are you going to prefer?
Industry
Using the
machine, sir.
machine.
Yes, so using the machine, you're going to prefer using the machines, right? Good. So it means
Yes.
that your life will be easier, and then you can even increase what we call productivity. So, talking about the text editor, let's go back again. There is an advanced version of the text editor called IDE. Called what? IDE. The full meaning is what? Integrated Development Environment. Integrated Development Environment. And that is what we are going to use. Examples include, we have code blocks. We also have Eclipse. We can talk about Visual Studio. We can talk about Codelets. Is it Codelight or Codelets? I've forgotten though, but you can look up the name yourself. We can also, there is another one, I've forgotten though, but there are so many of them. There are so many IDEs available for you to be able to write your C++ programs. Now, You might ask yourself that what at all is the essence of the ID? I've given you a clue already. It makes your life easier. How does it make your life easier? It contains mechanisms, or let's say functionalities, that will help you debug your application. It can give you what we call syntax highlighting. It can also give you error, can help in what? Error handling. And what again? There are so many things that you can do within what? An IDE. Yes. But then when you're using an environment like Notepad or Notepad++, it is not that efficient. It is not that heavy or integrated for you to be able to easily debug your applications and all that. So it is going to make your life a bit of hell. You really have to know what you are doing for you to be able to what? Get going. So Visual Studio Code is actually an IDE, not a text editor. So let me capture it here like that. So that is that. Yeah, so these are what? Benefits of using IDEs like that. All right, so we are making headway. Yes. Now, it is time for us to get practical. But then up until this point, is there any question?
No, please.
Okay, my question is,
Okay.
the compiler, is it
Okay.
an app? Like
The
load?
compiler, is it an app?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We will come to that. Any other question? Okay, if there are
Okay, so please, I would want you to throw more light on debug your application. I don't really get the meaning of debug your application.
Okay, good. So anytime you are writing codes or you are writing instructions for the computer to execute for you, you are prone to bugs, meaning that you can introduce errors in your instructions. So bugs are basically errors. Okay, so it's actually, you can watch a video or you can read around where the term bugs came from. If you're not able to do that myself, I'll search for the video and then drop it. You watch it and then you appreciate it. So bugs is basically an error that is in your code or your instruction or your computer program. So that is what? Bugs. But then to debug means to be able to fish out the errors you've made or introduced and then remove them. So debug is what? Actually finding the errors and then what? Rectifying them. So that is that, basically. Do you get it?
Yeah, so if I get it right, when we look at Microsoft Word, we can say that if you are proofreading, it's the same as debugging, or what do you think?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Yeah, so coming back to the other question, that is a compiler. He asks, is it an app? Yes.
Yeah, he asked whether the compiler is an app or what.
Oh, okay, good. Now, we've actually talked about this, but you have forgotten. So let me just touch on it again. So we are saying that a compiler, okay, is just a software that translates let's say source code. When I say source code, it means that the instructions that is written by the programmer into machine what? Codes. Period. You still want me to
Hello, sir.
explain it?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Uh-huh.
We have types of compiler.
Do we have types of compiler? Well, I've not checked on that, but I doubt. Compiler is a compiler. The only thing I know is we have what we call a compiler and then an interpreter. Yes, we have an interpreter and a compiler.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So,
So, sir, it means it's only one. We have only one compiler as a software that translates source code to machine codes.
exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Whether the program is written in Java, whether it is written in Python, C++, C, C Sharp, if it needs a mechanism to be able to get it to the computer to understand, it would have to be compiled down into machine code, period.
Okay, so my next question. The text editor. Do we have some that already contains the compiler, or whenever you get the text editor, you have to get the compiler too?
Okay, good question. So, I'm going to introduce you to an IDE that is coming with both, that is giving you already the environment to write your instruction as well as the compiler. So you wouldn't have to download it separately. But if you go for other ones that do not come with a compiler, it means you would have to download a compiler separately and then install it. So whenever you are trying to debug your application or run your application, you would have to tell it where to go and pick the compiler to be able to execute it. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so let's just get going. So I'm going to switch out of this Microsoft Word window, and then I'm going to demonstrate how we are going to download the IDE that I talk about. We are going to use code blocks anyway. I think, yes, that would be the best IDE for us for now, because it comes with a compiler already. You don't have to bother about downloading the compiler separately. So take note of that. All right. So let's go quickly. I'm going to minimize this and then share, how do you call it? Share my screen, this particular window. Stop presenting and then share this particular window. Hello, Jenna. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I'm having an online session right now. Let me finish up. I believe you can see my screen.
Sir, please, I can see, but it's small.
Small, eh? Oh, okay.
Yes, so if you could zoom it a bit or
I think you are
something.
using your phone, right?
You can do it through your phone.
Oh, okay.
So you can zoom it through your phone.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is what we are going to actually send me one to us. Okay, Allah. Yes. So this is the website, the official website that you can come to download code blocks. You can come to download code blocks. All right. So stop sharing. I think I need to go here. Yeah, so whilst you are here, okay, can you see a session called Microsoft Windows? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes. So
Yeah, you can.
make sure that you are on the download from section here. You look at the file. These are various setups that you can download. These are various setups that you can download, but we are going to make use of the first option, this one here. And then let's select the sourceforge.net and download it from that link. So that is what we are going to use. You can use a Force Hub, but I'm not really okay with that. I've not used it before. I'm familiar with the sourceforge.net. So let me just click on that link. And then it takes me to a section where it is telling me that my download will start shortly. Okay, so you could see that my download has been picked up. Come again, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see
Yes,
it.
it's back now.
So can you see download? Thank you for downloading code blocks. Can you see that?
Yes, yes. Thank you for downloading code blocks.
Yes. So as it stands now, I'm using Internet Download Manager. So it has picked up my my download process. So I'll just click on start downloading, and actually it is done downloading. So I'll just go ahead and open this one here. Open it. And I think, yes, I will accept the instructions. And this time around, I think I would have to share my entire screen because I limited certain things. So let me just share the entire screen for you to see what is going on. Share, and I'll say entire window, no, entire screen. So I'll share my screen here. Share. And I believe you should see my screen right now. Yes. You can see, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So I'm actually
Yeah, we can.
going through the process to install code blocks. So it is asking me to what? Click on next. I've clicked on it. I'll agree to the license terms, and then I'll just hit on next again. And then I would make sure it is pointing to the default destination folder. I wouldn't change anything basically. I wouldn't change anything. So I'll just click on install, and this will spin up what? The installation process up until when it will finish. So let's wait for it a bit for it to get installed, and we can start to write some few code. We are going to write our first program today. Those of us who have not really tried anything yet, we are going to write our first program today. First program. Good. Do you want to run code blocks now? That is the instruction they are asking me. So yes, I want to run it. So click on yes. And then I can click on next and then finish. So code blocks is actually being launched. Let's wait patiently for it to open fully, and then we can go ahead and what? Use it. So you see that. Look at something. It is telling us that our current default compiler is what? The Genus GCC compiler. Can you see that?
Yes, sir. We can see it.
Okay, and it's telling us
Yes.
that it is not found, no compiler detected. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, come again. Come. I'm listening.
Excuse,
Yes, I'm listening.
sir.
Yes.
Please, can I use Microsoft Store to download listen, the
Can you
code?
use what?
Microsoft Store.
Microsoft Store. Okay, I think that'll be possible. I have not tried that yet
Yes, sir.
though. Let me see store.
It's not there. It's not there. You're not getting it.
Let me think. Let me check. Let's see. Code blocks. Let me check if there is. Well, I'm not really seeing any tool regarding code blocks, but this is one tool that is saying that it allows you to do some few stuff related to programming, but this is not what we are interested in. So it is not here, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry to disturb, but from my phone, what I'm seeing right now is extraction. That is, please wait while code block is being installed. I don't know what's going on, so I don't know whether I should enjoy my own thing or I should join you people, because that's what I'm saying.
Is it that you are seeing that instruction from my screen?
Yeah, from your screen. What I'm saying is installing. Please wait while code block is being
Then
installed.
your network is slow. How many of you have seen that I've actually opened the IDE?
Sir, please, I can
Yeah, I
see
have,
it.
sir.
Yes. So the gentleman who is coming up with the consent, what network are you using?
MTN.
Oh, okay. But why is it that it is not giving you the room to? Okay, maybe
I don't
your
know whether
area switch.
I should log out and come back again.
Okay,
Or I
so
don't know.
quickly do that. Quickly do that, and let's see.
All right. All right.
Yeah. So whenever you are able to launch code blocks for the first time, it asks you some few instructions or few questions. You can read it and then choose what's best for you. But then I would prefer that. Okay, I want to say that okay, associate code blocks with C or C++ file types. I'll say yes, and I'll select OK, and then I'm good to what? Go. I'm good to go. Now, what am I going to do basically? Let me see if I can increase the font size of, let me see the compiler here. I want to check on something. Okay, so Gmail compiler. So I want to see if I can increase the font size of the IDE a bit. So environment, and then is it view? We send it to 12. And then let me say that general settings. Well, I can't see that now, but then I believe you can see my screen. That is the most important thing I'm interested in. You can see my
Yeah, we
screen, right?
can.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
please.
let me just close out from this. Now, when you are here, there are so many functionalities available for you to what do or use. But then I cannot say that I'm going to take you through all these things, but it is your responsibility to be able to familiarize yourself with the environment. That way, you know where to go when necessary. But then there are few commands that would be our go-to. We have the run or the debug. We also, okay, I think this section here. Yes, we have the run. We have build and run.
Hello,
We
sir.
have, yes.
Yeah, please. I'm having Sea Lion and Visual Code. Can I use that one for the programming?
You know, I think that are you using computer?
Yes, please. Sea
Yes.
Lion and Visual Code.
I think that if you can configure your environment to be able to write and compile C++ code for you, I have no issue. I have no problem with that. But then if you are facing difficulties in one way or the other, then please go and download code blocks. It comes with the compiler and everything already. You don't have to really bother yourself about any setup again.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so that is my little input over there. All right. So yes, first thing first, let's just create a new project. Now, a project is basically, let's say, a setup you do to be able to contain all the files that you are going to create. So, let's say that, yes, a project basically gives you an environment or a space that you can manage one program at a time. So I can create a project that is going to help me manage the instructions regarding maybe a student management system that I want to create. I can also create another project that would talk about maybe my ATM software that I want to create. So whenever you come to the C++ environment here, the code blocks environment here, what you might be interested in is creating a new project or opening an existing project. Opening an existing project means that you've already created a project and you've worked on it and you are coming back to probably change certain things or what have you. And then creating a new project, it is self-explanatory. You are creating a new project. Basically that. So how do we go about that? There is a create new project button here. You can use that, or you go to file. You go to the file menu and then you select new and then you select project. Or you can use right from your interface here, the startup page, there is a create new project command. You select it and then it brings up what we call the new template form. What do you do? Okay, I want to build a project. What sort of projects do I want to build? I want to build a C++ project. Where is it? A C++ project that is of a console. Hello.
Hi.
Yes. So when you click on the new project and then it brings you the new from template, or it gives you the option to select which type of project you want to create, please select console application. Please select console application because that is where we are going to start writing our instructions. For now, we are going to be working in the console. You understand what console means soon. We are not going to deal with what we call GUI, graphical user interface, at the moment. We are interested in console application for now. So let's just select that and then click on go. And then it said some few instructions. Welcome to the new console application wizard. This wizard will guide you to create a new console application. When you are ready to proceed, please click next. Okay, so what do I do? Let me just say, I don't want this sort of instruction the next time, so I'll just check this box and then click on next. And then I'll select C++. Please make sure you select C++. Don't go and select C. Select C++ and then click on next. And now we are going to give the project a title. We are going to give the project a title. So let's say first program. First underscore, let's say program. First underscore program. And then let's say next. And then what compiler do we want to use? We want to use the GNU GCC compiler. Leave it as default and then click on finish. Okay, so I'm getting an error here. So let's say continue. Oh, okay. Okay, so let me stop this one. I think I would have to rectify some few things before we continue. I didn't specify a part. How is this thing hanging up? So let me relaunch it. Yes.
Yeah, that's the same problem I also face.
Your voice is far away. I can barely hear what you are saying.
That's the same problem I'm also facing.
Still, I can't hear you.
He's saying that's the same problem he's facing.
You're also facing the same issue?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me try and then figure it out, and then I would communicate what you're supposed to do exactly. Okay, so let me just try and create a new project. Again, new, and then select project, and then select console application, click on go, then say next, next, and then what's project title? Let's say hello world, hello world, hello world, hello world. Then I'll come to the resulting file name. What is it asking? Okay, so I'll select folder to create project in. So let me just click on this 3 dots here and then say I want to create the project in my document folder. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
In my document folder, let me create another folder here called C++ programs. C++ programs. And then select that folder. And you could see that a lot has changed already. So let me just click on next. Click on next again. And voila, we've been able to create our project successfully. Okay. So let me close this one up. And then when it comes to your left pane, your left hand side of the screen, there is one pane that is showing your project structure. So you see there's a project and then a workspace. In that workspace, you have a project called Hello World. If you have yours to be first program, you see first program over there. Now, when you expand another folder that is beneath your project called sources, you are going to see one file called main.cpp. The CPP means C++. That is the extension for what? C++ files. Please note that the extension for C++ files are what? Called .cpp or CPP. Are we okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So let me just double click on the main.cpp and then it opens up whatever that is contained in the main.cpp file. So let me just zoom in this one a bit, and I believe you can see already.
Yes, sir.
Good, good.
Yes, please, we can.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm so happy that we've gotten to this stage. I'm so happy that we've gotten here. Now, I'm going to take my time to explain some few things here. And then when we are able to run our first program, we will call it a day and then we continue another time. Okay? All right. So you see there are some numberings here. These numbers, you can disable them, but I think it gives you a guide. It tells you the number of instructions you've written so far. So as it stands now, we have 10 lines of code. Though there are some white spaces like line number 4, there is nothing there, but at least it gives you a sense that you've written 10 lines of code already. That is the number part. Now, there is one instruction that is written at the topmost of what? Your program, called hashtag include. Hashtag include less than IOStream and then greater than. What is the essence of this hashtag include IOStream? Now, C++ has so many built-in functionalities or libraries that helps it to be able to execute the instructions that you give it. Now, this is a module that you import. It is called what, the IOStream, meaning input and output what? Stream. Input and output stream. What does it allow you to do? It is able to allow you to display, and then accept user input. So if you omit this part from your program, you are not going to be able to display and then accept user inputs in your program. So note that. There are other ones that you can import, like the maths. We have the maths model. There are other ones, plenty. There are other ones, so many of them. But this is the most common and then the primary one that comes with what? Any project that you create. Make sure it is there so that you can be able to display something to the console or print something to the console or accept user inputs. Okay, there is another line called using namespace STD. So a namespace is basically a mechanism that prevents what we call collision in your code. Collision is basically when you are naming things in programming, there are standards we follow. So it could be that in a particular file, you named a particular thing you named certain thing in a particular way. And then you open another file, you've named another thing with the same name in another file. When you bring up those two files, it happens that you can merge two files to be able to what? Perform some operations. So when you bring those two files together, you could see that you are now having two identical names in those two files. So it is going to collide. So what happens is when you are using the namespace model, the system will be able to tell that, okay, this particular name belongs to this particular file, and that particular name belongs to that particular file, and so therefore make sure collision doesn't happen. That is the essence of what? The namespace. So when you want to use it, you start with the keyword using namespace std standard, like that. Make sure it is terminated. All right. There is another part called int main, and then int main, and then open brackets, close brackets, and then open curly braces, close curly braces. Inside of the opening and closing curly braces, there is what? There are a few instructions that are going on there. Now, this main function you are seeing here, we call it what? The main function or the main method. It is the starting point of the application. It is the starting point of what? The application. When you start debugging or running the program, it starts from this main method. Please note that. It starts from this main method. Before, if you have any instructions outside the main method, before it will go and look for it. But when you run it for the first time, it starts executing from this main method. And whatever that is inside of it, it tries to what? Run it. We are going to know what a method or a function is as and when we continue. And then this int here too, we are going to what? Know what it is. We are going to know what it is. So this is a basic instruction called hello world. Let me go ahead and run this one and let's see what we get. So I'll come to the top here. There is a run button. I'll click on it. Okay, so build. Okay, why are we not getting any input? So let me click on run again. Okay, so I think there is an issue here. Wow. What could be the probable cause? Okay, so nothing seems to be executed, and I don't really know the reason why it is behaving like that. So I think it is already late. We are going to end here. I'll fix the issue, and then in our next meeting, I'll touch on what the issue is, and then if you are facing the same problem or issue, you rectify it, then we can pick it up from there. Are we okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that
Okay,
is
sir.
basically that.
Please.
Any question up to this point? Any question?
Hello, sir.
Yes, come with your question.
Yeah, please. When I try running the program, they said the compiler is invalid.
Compiler is invalid?
Yeah.
Wow. That is a bit of problem. Okay, so let me check on few things here. Code blocks, code blocks, code blocks. And then main. Oh, okay. So notes includes code block with all plugins. Note the code blocks part includes additionally the G Suite Fortran compiler in from what version? But then why is it that it is said it is included already, but why is it not part? So let me go to compiler and then see from the list of options here if I can get this particular one here.
Cool.
Linker settings. Okay. I think that's okay. Auto detect, yes. Okay. All right, it's still complaining that they can't find it. So I would rectify the issue and then give you an update on that, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I think that you've really enjoyed the session and
Yes.
hello.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Can you hear what I said? That's a meeting. So revision and network in Enya. I can't hear. Yeah. Yeah, the money you are. Yeah, so sorry, I had a call. So I think that you've learned something new today, and in your own time, in your own space, try to be figuring out things. I believe that is one of the best ways to learn. It is one of the best ways to learn. So please do yourself a favor by what? Trying to look out for look out for information online and all that. Whilst we prepare to meet for the next session or update you with the next session. So that is that for this evening. Thank you for joining, and I've recorded a session. I'm going to post it. I would post it on the channel. If you know you have not subscribed to the channel, go and then do that. So that is basically that. If there are no questions, we can end here and call it a day.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so
Okay.
much, sir.
All right. Have a good evening. Bye.